Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Tuesday, the 8th of August. 2 days left to camp out. I've just arrived at Braziers Park in South Oxfordshire, where we're hosting this year's grassroots gathering. So I thought, whilst the light is still good, I'd come and take you on a little tour of the ground to see how this land is going to be transformed into 4 days of talks and workshops, wellbeing activities, music, celebration, food, and a whole manner of activities as we look at how we can bring together personal awakening and systems change. So what you can see behind me is the main entrance. So those of you coming to Campout, and I hope that's you, you'll be coming in here. This is where you'll be greeted once we erect our box office tomorrow by our box office team, and you'll be guided into the main campsite, which I'm going to walk into now. So we're here on the opening evening. We've got all of tomorrow to prepare the site. Our amazing crew team, and some of which you might see in a minute, are here on site with us as we're preparing for the next few days here, where from Thursday till Sunday we'll be bringing over 60 different speakers, performers, musicians in celebration, in co-creation, and looking at how as communities we can come together to make a difference. We're really looking to build a new counterculture. So I want to take a moment just to kind of give you a 360 of the amazing space we've got here. Right now it's overcast, but the forecast is beautiful for the next 4 days. Thursday, the opening day. Wow, the beautiful thing about Thursday, the opening day, the sun is going to be shining. It's going to be like 26 degrees. We'll have our wellbeing village set up. And the main program doesn't start till 5 in the evening. We've got a very relaxed start. We've got our opening event at 5 o'clock on Thursday night. Then we have a nice dinner, and we've got our opening talk in the main tent with some music going into the first day. So we've got this whole day to enjoy this beautiful nature, to connect, to share stories, to meet one another, to eat some lovely food, have some great conversations, maybe have a dance, maybe take part in some of the yoga, maybe take part in some of the spontaneous activities that will emerge on Thursday. But I just want to kind of give you this glimpse at this site. At the moment, practically empty, empty tapestry, which we're going to transform into our gathering space. We're not calling it a festival. It is somewhat of a festival of ideas. It's an event, but it's a grassroots gathering at its core. It's a community gathering of different communities coming together to explore ideas. Lovely wooden toilet blocks and showers. And I'm going to take you on a walking tour of the whole site, while I was kind of giving you a primer of what's coming. And if you've only just heard about it, don't worry, it's not too late. You can still come and join us at this beautiful site. I'm going to try and keep the site in sight, no pun intended. So over here, sadly, this beautiful spot in nature where you can see the camper van, they'll have our live-in vehicles here, those of you coming in camper vans, and then our parking along here. So this will all be transformed into the green space that will be cordoned off for everyone to park and to get set up. And there's a small campfire over here, which I'll take you to in a moment, where our crew are going to be located. We've got over 50 crew managing this event, so you're going to be well looked after. And we've got an amazing group of people who have worked tirelessly over the last few months to pull this event together and to really conjure up from an initial seed of an idea, a vision of a grassroots gathering that can build momentum into wider social change, how we can be a catalyst for that. We've come together to put together this amazing program over these 4 days. You can see our crew campfire here, where our crew will be camped. Behind me, actually, this is actually an outdoor stage. We're not actually going to use it as a stage. We decided to use mainly the indoor structures in order to cover for all weather eventualities, whether hot or cold, we never know in this country. But there may be stuff happening here, we'll see. But other festivals that have been here, other events that have been here, have used this as an open outdoor stage. We may use it for summer activity, but this is really where all the kind of living vehicles and cars are going to be. We're going to have our crew camping over here. And where you saw me a moment ago over by the toilet block is where is the side of our family camping. So in the family camping space, it's going to be a little bit quieter, it's a little bit further away. And the family area is going to be where the children's activities are going to happen during the day. So everyone's in close proximity. You know, the parents can hang out by the tent whilst the children are looked after in the children's space. And if I get to go in here in a moment, you will see the amazing playground that the children have got to play in. Now, I don't know, Pete and I may be setting up this event, but we don't create all the rules. I don't know if the adults can go and play in here. I hope we can, because it's actually really cool. And in fact, when you see the children's program, you know, we talk a lot about self-sufficiency and sovereignty. The kids' activity is really an embodied activity for how you can become, you know, really skilled. You know, there's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of crafts and adventures that they've got in store. I'm going to see if we can go into this playground spot over here. But again, behind me, you can see the wonderful nature. Look at that construction behind me. I'm going to take you over to the Vortex in a minute. That's an incredible stage. One of the events that host a festival here every year, the Supernormal Festival. We're kind of like the Super Unnormal Festival. But the Supernormal Festival erected all these amazing things. Let me see if we can get into the children's area. Nice little tiki bar behind me, you'll see in a minute. Be selling juices from there maybe, I don't know. Let's see, to remind myself the way into this little, but yeah, this wonderful space and nature, as you can see. Here we go. One of our catering vans on site there. I'll take you over there in a minute. Yes, here we go. Oh, to see this is exciting. My inner child is alive when I come into places like this. Look at this. So, what do we got? This tightrope thing. I'm not going to try and do that on the camera. I don't have the best of balance of most times. Classic rope swing. For those of us who grew up in the 80s know that before safetyism took over, these things were the thing. Noisy thing. Amazing tree house. Check this out. Amazing tree house. This just looks like cozy. This looks like the ultimate hammock. But there's a whole set of activities and stuff in here that the local nursery and schools have donated. There's a slide down there as well. There's various other swings. So there's all this stuff in here for the young people. So it really is a family-friendly event. We've got people from toddlers to teenagers coming here. My son Zach's going to be here, my 2-year-old, soon to be 2. At home when I record my podcast, he keeps trying to grab the microphone, so he's vying for a spot on the main stage. Maybe you'll see him there, we'll see. And my wife Lizzie's coming as well, which is amazing. She's a personal trainer. She's very busy at the moment, opening her own personal training studio in Bournemouth, where we've just moved. But she's going to be offering a workout session on Sunday morning before we start the day, for those of you who want to have a morning workout. On the other mornings, on Friday and Saturday, we've got 2 great choices for you. You've got transformational movement and breath work, which is delivered by Yale, who's literally got one of the most energizing morning sessions you could possibly imagine, kind of circumnavigating the need for coffee. And we've got some Qigong as well. So we've got some amazing movement-based activities. We've got one of our food vendors here, Amber, who's going to be selling falafels and tabbouleh and salads, all kinds of good stuff. Here we're going to have a whole children's area over here, and you'll loop round here to the food village. Again, we've got 5 or 6 different food vans going to be with us for the 4 days, so you're going to be well fed. Despite having given up coffee for the last week, we've got an amazing coffee company coming. So if you see my recent podcast, I talk about intentional consumption of coffee rather than habitual consumption. So I look forward to an intentional coffee when they arrive. But I want to show you now the whole open space here. So where we've just come from is where one side of the family camping is going to be, crew camping, live-in vehicles. And then over here, right behind me, in this open space, it's amazing you'll see all this in the videos afterwards. But this is where our well-being area is going to be, where we've got all kinds of things going on. We've got a sauna, we've got an ice bath, we've got massage, we've got yoga, we've got shiatsu, we've got qigong, we've got a whole manner of practices, tarot reading, I think, all kinds of things going on down over there, which I'm excited to check out in our Wellbeing Village. We'll have the World Council for Health here with us as well. They'll have a stand over there. Now I'm going to take us over to the central spot of the site, right behind me. Here is where and again, it's so hard to imagine, but where I'm looking right now is where the main stage is going to be. This huge stretch tent, which can accommodate the entire site. So if there is any inclement weather, we have you covered, quite literally. No pun intended. And then we have this central campsite where on a night like tonight, it's 7 o'clock, drinks will be flowing, I'm sure. You know, it's a very healthy event, but there's celebration as well. So we've got this wonderful central campfire, which almost has like this amphitheater seating zone. So you can already imagine, I mean, it's quiet now. I'm virtually here by myself. Some of my crew are over there, and Pete, our co-organizer and founder of the event, are over there. We're going solo to them in a minute. But it's so silent now, just the birds and nature. But just imagine the bustle on Thursday, the gates open on Thursday, as people gather around, share stories, having a drink, having a dance. It's going to be beautiful. So behind me again, now you'll see this whole open space. So where we just were, that's where the main stage is going to be, just to the left side of that. And then if we go over here, I don't know if this space is unlocked. This is the crazy stage that I mentioned, which was constructed by the Supernormal Festival. Shout out to them. A lot of the wooden structures on this site were built by them, and they've left them here because they come here every year, and they've enabled everyone who hires the space to come and use these facilities, which is just amazing. So we have the good fortune of being able to use some of these things. I hope this barn is open. Check this out. You know, what is that? When I first saw that, I was like, what is that? But it's cool. Let's take a look. Let's go on in. Uh-oh. There's a tree stump in the way. Let's move that one. Again, it's just amazing to see these things in their peaceful, tranquil state and how they're going to come alive. So this huge barn, it's kind of got these amazing kind of square windows behind me, almost like these stained glass window type things beyond. Great stage, lovely flooring. Again, there's more games here for the kids. We've got this giant Connect 4. It's just going to be so much fun. So yeah, here from the stage, this is kind of primarily our wellbeing stage. So we're going to have movement-based activities in here, talks around health, talks around connection to ourselves, connection to each other, connection to nature. So literally where I'm standing right now is where our speakers, and in the night our music. I've got some amazing music. We've got the band called The Egg. I don't know if you guys know The Egg. Check them out. They headlined the Glade at Glastonbury this year. Amazing music, just crazy. We've got some crazy music here this year, a whole range of music. So by day we kind of got workshops and talks and discussions and activities, and then by night the whole site turns into a celebration of music, dance, singing and laughter and conversation. So yeah, this is the Vortex stage, really cool structure. Let's come back outside into the wonderful nature, shut that door, chuck the tree stump back where it belongs, badly. No camera crew here today, just me. So what do we got? What else can I show you? Yeah, just this incredible green space. So at this end of the campsite, which is this nice long stretch, we've got right at the far side of the campsite, we've got this lovely quiet camping zone. So for those of you, who want an early night and you want to settle down, nice little quiet zone over there so you can chill out. There's a decent, the sound is going to cut off at 12 anyway, so it's not going to be like an all-night rave. And most of our audience are kind of older adults, but in my experience, the older adults these days are the ones that like to party, so we had to cut it at 12. Actually, no, it's our licensing that cuts it at 12. But over here, this will be where all of our campers stay. The far side over there, quiet camping, two campsites here. And then I'm going to take you to our final stage, which is also hidden away. And let me show you these, actually. We've got some... And watching this at home, it's just crazy, because I can't wait to show you. I'll do some live streaming as we do set up tomorrow, because those of you who have been involved in events or festivals and seeing it transform from a green space to the full experience will know how just very quickly, trucks arrive on site, materials, the tents, things start getting set up, and all of a sudden it goes from just being this blank canvas to this amazing space as it transforms. And I look forward to sharing that with you. But we've got these amazing wood-fired hot showers. These are incredible. When we came here for our planning weekend, people chose to come out here in the field instead of using the showers inside because they're that good. So nice cozy, wood-fired, outdoor shower, high-pressured, warm, amazing. So, I mean, when I was a teenager, I'd go to the festivals and I'd do my hardest to not go anywhere near the shower blocks, mainly because the queues were crazy. But these days, I do like my creature comforts, and I can't wait to take a dip in one of those. So, well catered, plenty of toilets around the site, all beautifully made out of wood. Now, let me take you down to the final stage, down here. I mean, this is like the secret, intimate part of this site here. It's so secret I almost missed the entrance. So I've gone into the wrong entrance actually. But we'll take the unbeaten, uncharted territory. We'll take the unwalked path. I may have overshot it. Yeah, I haven't been here for a few months. Where's the stage? I think I've missed the entrance. Let me just pop out of here. Luckily, we've got a site map for you when you arrive. And by the time you arrive, I'll remember where everything is. Here we go. So, yeah, going to be a wonderful experience for the whole family. So if you're wondering what the heck's going on, Dan, why are you showing us a tour of nature? Well, as it happens, we do have Ian Banyard with us, who's going to be giving nature walks around the site and the surrounding countryside. So, you know, if you just need a break and you want to get into nature, some people might be coming here from the city and they thought, you know what, I've come this far, I really want to get into nature. Ian's going to take you out on guided walks if you're into that. But there's plenty of nature to get stuck in with. So let's have a look here. Now I've got the right entrance. Here we go. So in this little space down here, more nice wooden facilities, we have this really cool underground, like not underground, it's sheltered by the trees. This cider bar, for those of you who like cider, the main bar is going to have a selection of drinks, including cider. This is your cider bar at the Woodland stage. So for the cider aficionados, you're going to be taken care of. You'll love it here. Pete's personal choices. So here we have the Woodland stage. Now this place, I love this space. So intimate, so cozy. This is kind of where we're having our find our voice sessions, where there'll be open mics, there's going to be spoken word, but again, we've got lots of different talks happening from this stage here, some workshops. You can see behind me, we've got the other fire pits. We've got 3 fire pits on site. There'll be hay bales and seats and everything here. It'll all be decorated up and lit. It's just going to look amazing. So again, all of these stages, just again, a blank canvas. It's just a structure right now. But at the time you arrive, it's all going to be decorated, lit up, and stuff happening all through the weekend. So I love this stage. There's so much good stuff happening on here. And in the evening, jam sessions around the campfire. So if you like jamming out on your guitar and your various instruments, all kinds of sessions happening in there. So there's been literally months worth of planning and preparation for this event. We got together in March as a team, a small group of us, 12, 14 of us, and we came here and we spent 3 days and nights here imagining what we wanted to conceive and how we can create this grassroots community gathering that brings like-minded people together, unlike-minded people together, really to open up the conversation, to explore in the crazy times that we live in, how do we start to create a brighter future? But not only that, how do we explore our own sense of personal empowerment, personal awakening? How do we release some of the trauma from the last couple of years and the anger and the frustration and the, you know, the kind of pain that this madness has created? How do we release some of that so we can step back into our uplifted, inspired and focused and creative self? Because actually it's our creative self that is going to form the solutions to this. And the solution, by the way, everyone's looking for like the magic bullet or the savior to save. And you know, for those of you who have religious, spiritual beliefs, I respect that and your view on what the savior means. But for many of us, alongside that, the question is, how do we play our part? And it reminds me actually of a parable. There was this pastor who went to visit, that's pastor, not pasta, not spaghetti. I went to knock on this the door of this house because he had this beautiful garden. And he goes up to the door and he knocks on the door and he says, "Sir, I must say to you, what a beautiful job God has done with your garden." And the gentleman in the house says, "That's very kind of you to say. But you should have seen it when God had it all by himself." And the moral of the story is that, you know, whether you're religious or spiritual or not, we all have to play our part. So actually what we're looking at as part of this event is where so much has now been deferred to government or outside institutions that perhaps don't have our best interests in heart. How do we bring that back into ourselves? How do we start to take personal responsibility for our own lives? Because the reality is, if we want a happier life, let's get happy ourselves. If we want to find a peaceful world, let's find inner peace inside ourselves. If we want to find a healthy planet, then we have to be healthy ourselves. If we want nature to thrive, then we have to tread lightly on nature. So it comes back to what can we do? The whole symbiosis of personal transformation, personal awakening, and how that intersects with the wider world, how we create culture, how we impact on society. They're intrinsically linked. You can't separate them. So the entire journey that we've created for the 4 days here is that balance of finding ourselves again, finding that sense of purpose, finding that sense of drive and mission, that wholehearted sense of values and integrity that you want to bring into the world with that creative power that's within each of us. And then looking at the structures and the system and asking questions about how do we create a brighter future. That's really at the heart of the workshops and discussions. There's a really fascinating mix of activities throughout the day. Each day, there's multiple things happening. You've got a whole menu of choices. You could just come and chill. You can join in a workshop. You can go and get a massage, take a sauna, eat some lovely food, meet like-minded people. The choice is yours. There's going to be an amazing set of spontaneous activities on this site. So I thought, as I just arrived, I'll come and give you a tour. While the light is good and you can see what's in store, how we're going to transform this space. We're going to be here on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. sharp with our crew, turning this site into that magical experience I've just outlined for you. So if you haven't yet made the decision to come and be here with us, I hope this has stoked a little fire inside of you, ignited something inside of you, a pull to say, I want to be part of that. Because I know in my heart and soul that if you make the decision to be here, you ain't going to regret it. It's going to be an amazing, transformational 4 days. And what a setting for it. So again, it's overcast now. Check out the weather forecast. It's looking bright and sunny for the next few days. The event starts on Thursday. We're expecting 26, 27 degrees and sunshine. But we're certainly, no matter what the weather, we're going to have a beautiful time here. So hit the share button, please do. I felt like I've had to kind of cram 60 days of marketing into kind of 6 days because of the censorship that I faced. Putting on an event of this magnitude when you're facing such severe censorship is somewhat of a crazy idea. Because in order for an event like this to work, because it costs a lot of money to put on, I know some people say, well, it should be free. It's like, well, who's going to pay the bills? Who's going to pay for this wonderful site? Who's going to pay for the stage and the equipment? You know, we've got that challenge, you know, so to me, it's about the community playing our part or making a contribution. We'll be lucky if this event breaks even. You know, that'll be a wonderful outcome for us. If we can make some surplus to reinvest in what we're doing, even better. But the reality is, I'd love for this to be free. You know, when people say it should be free, it's like, well, what do we want to do? They go to a rich person and say, you pay the bill and subsidize it for everyone else? Isn't that part of the problem, that we have this power imbalance, that the haves and the have-nots? Isn't it better that we all find a way to contribute and play our part and have personal responsibility in the world we want to see? That's not to detract from the circumstances that some people are facing and the fact that the very real crazy economic environment we're in makes things like this inaccessible. But we've done all kinds of things to try and make this accessible to everyone, including giving people the option to join as crew. We've done various different discounts. So if the call is there to be part of this, I'm sure you'll find a way. And it'd be amazing to have you here for 4 days of celebration. Gates open where you saw me arrive at the beginning of this video, 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. We'll run right through to Sunday night. We'll be here till Monday morning. And then that 4 days of that bubble outside of the craziness of the world will dissipate, and hopefully we'll take something with us into the wider world, a renewed sense of optimism and purpose and meaning and drive, creativity, inspiration, to actually take that back into our communities and actually start to be the change we want to see in our local area. Because it's easy to point the finger and saying the government should be doing this, the council should be doing that. We're mad to think that the government or the council are going to come and save us and solve all our problems. We have to be the change we want to see. It's enough Enough is enough. We've got to stop pointing fingers. We've got to point the finger back at ourselves and look in the mirror and say, what can I do today to make the world a better place? That's the question that we'll be asking here as we explore how do we build a counterculture movement to tackle many of the issues. How do we form a counter movement to the established order that is causing so much disruption and pain to so many people? How do we find a way to build systems and structures that can support humanity and the world that we live in? That's the big question. Now, I don't know whose tent this is over here. We're just going to take a little peek before I close out, because this is glamping over here. Whose is this? This is cozy. Don't know who I'm poking in. Someone's lovely little, look at that. That is camping in style. Hello, got a sofa. Wow. That's some happy campers right there. I imagine that's one of our team. I'm going to find out in a minute. So, if you want to camp in style, that's how you do it. Any tent will do. Come and join us Thursday till Sunday here in this amazing space in South Oxfordshire, where the sun will be shining. Talks, workshops, music, celebration, wellbeing activities, conversations around the fire, great food. And ultimately, if you've been following the principles that I've shared about the event, bring the experience you want to see. Bring the change you want to see. So, come and see us here. Go to campout.live. Last batch of tickets are still available. We're starting on Thursday morning. If you can't make it till Friday, it's okay, but try and be here from Thursday till Sunday. We've created a journey for you to come and enjoy here on this wonderful site of Braziers Park in South Oxfordshire. I've got to go back to work. Thanks very much for tuning in. Please share this, and I hope to see you at Campout 2023.